We're about set to get underway here at Cardinal Stadium. It's Clarksville versus Providence in Game 1 of the Southern Indiana Football Classic. And Providence will kick the ball away. They won the toss, but elected to defer. And they'll kick it off from the 40-yard line. Doing the kicking for Providence Pioneers will be Drew Stark, 6'1", 155-pound junior. Gary Woodling alongside me with color. Larry Staggers will be chiming in as well with stats and some color as well tonight. We're about set to go. Kick is away. Going to be a short kick. And it'll be taken by one of the deep men at the 10-yard line. Picked up around the 20. 20 down to the 25. And taking the ball down inside the 25, almost to the 26, will be Steve Boone. Boone is a linebacker, actually. We'll see him playing at split end, possibly some tonight as well. 6'1", 175-pound senior. Clarksville, pretty wide open offense, will get the ball at about the 26-yard line. 1st and 10. 19, Brad Troutman is the quarterback. Running backs are Mark James, wears number 23, and Tito Mayfield, wears number 20. Turn around, hand the ball off to the second man through. That is going to be Mayfield, I believe. He'll get it up to about the 30-yard line. And that'll be all. Actually, that is Mark James running a tailback. They'll alternate those guys.
Jason Higdon on the stop there, had him around the ankle for Providence.
See how soon it, or how long it takes Clarksville to try to throw this football. As Larry Staggers and I were talking before the game. They won't throw it deep, but they will throw it to some of these out receivers, and they'll let them run with the football. Troutman following the signal. Clarksville shifting the defense around just a bit now. They'll then make the toss to the tailback. That again is 23. That'll be Mark James. James will get it inside the 30. Up to maybe the 33. He's going to be a couple of yards, maybe 3 yards short of the first down, and he gets the call the first couple of times out. Mark James, by the way, is a guy that you're going to hear a lot of tonight. 5'10", 190-pound senior tailback. And look for Providence to try to key on him if they can.
Good defense from the left side there from Providence as they boxed that in, wouldn't let him get around the corner.
Matt French comes wide to the near side. And Troutman drops. He's looking. He's got a man out of the seam. That's going to be number 86. Caught. That is Matt French, the wide receiver. And he'll get it down inside Providence territory at about the 35-yard line. Nice play that time as Troutman was very patient and waited for French to cross the seam there and get into the zone and did a very nice job hitting the open receiver. Nathan Gibson was in the slot. Gibson went ahead and came on the underneath route and opened that up nicely, Gary Woodley.
32 yards on that pass play.
And Clarksville has it 1st and 10 inside Providence territory at the 40. Make it 35, excuse me. Troutman turns around, hands it to James again. He's going to get stacked up at the line of scrimmage, maybe get the yard to see what they do with forward progress. And he got hammered in there. Looks like we had Richie Anders as one of the guys in there on the stop. They'll give him a yard on the carry, just a little bit less than a yard, actually. As you've got Bubby Gedling checking out of the game now for Clarksville at wideout. Into the game, Nathan Gibson split end. French is the other wide receiver. Troutman looking to throw. He's got a man. Oh, it's going to be picked off. Clarksville has it at the 30-yard line to the 40. 45, 50. 45, 40, 35, knocked out of bounds as Clarksville has picked it off. Number 46 on the interception, DJ Zip, the outside linebacker, and a good job dropping in coverage that time. DJ Zip doing a nice job reading the quarterback and just stepped in front of the intended receiver, French. And that's what a good outside linebacker does. When he's covering that zone, he drops back and makes the read and just read the quarterback's eyes that time. Clarksville has it, and they are in business now. Excuse me, Providence does. 1st and 10 at the 35 in Clarksville territory. They will run out of, I believe this is a wing T setup. Yes, it is. Whitlock's the quarterback. He'll turn around and hand it off to his running back. That is 28, Jeff Barrett. For those uninitiated among you, a wing T is a formation you will see a lot of misdirection out of. You will see a lot of counter plays run out of this. It'll look like a twin H-back setup with a tight running back, and that's exactly what you'll see. A lot of counter plays, not a whole lot of fancy things out of this. You'll see a lot of misdirection on the running, but this is strictly smash mouth formations, I think.
Defense has to stay home.
That's exactly right. The defense has to, it's a read kind of a thing. You're playing assignment football on defense. Whitlock turns around. He'll hand it to the man in motion. That's number 20, the running back, Scott Bodenbender. Bodenbender lines up as one of the H-back slots. He'll be down close to a first down, be down about 2 yards short, let's call it now. Third down and about 2. And if it sounds like there's a little confusion on our part as to who's carrying the football, it's typical in a wing T to run 5 or 6 running backs in and out of there. So we'll see that again today. Bodenbender is in there at a running back. Barrett is in there in a halfback slot, and you've got 22 set back there. That looks to be Nate Frazier. Frazier gets the call. He's going to be up close to the first down, then shoved backwards by the Clarksville defense. Let's see. This is going to be just short. It looks like 4th and maybe 6 inches to go. And I don't think they're going to measure this. So already it's decision time for Providence, and it looks like they will go for this. Wing T is a great formation for a high school team, but you've got a lot of good skill players, and you want to use them. This is a good formation to use. Now we'll see the wideout coming to the near side. That's DJ Zip, the guy that made the interception. Turn around, hand the ball off. They'll have the first down, but it's going to be close. Oh, no, maybe not. Let's see if they give it to him.
I don't think he got it.
I don't know. It looked like at first blush they may have had it. It was Bodenbender on the carry, and I think he did get this maybe by the length of a football. Let's see.
Actually, very close.
They gave it to Gibson. I thought it was Bodenbender, but they gave it to, Frazier. They're going to bring this in for a measurement. This is going to be about as close as you can see.
By a nose.
Let's watch the picture here. They'll pull the chains, and they got the first down, maybe by an inch. Maybe by an inch. Very, very close.
Your eyes are better than mine now.
I was cheating. I was looking at the monitor here, Larry. We've got right now Providence with 1st and 10. They've got it on the just inside the 25-yard line of Clarksville. Providence taking it over on the interception by DJ Zip. Zip's been in there at a wideout slot, and he's also run some tight end as well. Now, the tight end, by the way, is a bit of a misnomer in this wing T offense. Rarely do you see a tight end ever catch a pass out of this offense. Luke Andrews split wide to the near side. Man in motion now. The handoff goes to Bodenbender. He comes around, shakes the tackle, gets down to around the 20, inside the 20 to the 18 to the 17. Looked like he was stopped cold.
Excellent defense by Clarksville, but he got out of their grasp and picked up another 8 yards.
Bodenbender doing a great job. Now, that's a quintessential keeping the feet moving play right there. Running backs are always taught to keep the feet moving. As they his knee touched at the 18, they'll give him 5, make it 6 on the carry. So he was going to be stopped for a loss by the looks of it, guys, and turns that into something real positive there. DJ Zip will be wide to the far side. Barrett is one of the halfbacks. Turn around now, hand it to Barrett on the counter play. He's up to the 10, and he's going to drop inside the 10 to about the 9, maybe the 8. Nice little cut that time by Barrett as he turned around. Actually, the quarterback turned around and handed it to Whitlock, faking the handoff to the other running back, Bodenbender. We're getting confused again. And handed it to Barrett on the cut. Barrett will be the H-back to the near side. It's the fullback, Frazier. Barrett in motion. Handoff goes to him. He's trying to look for some room. Gets it up to about the 7, maybe the 6. As Barrett will make the cut inside of the block. And he'll get right to just inside the 6-yard line. So it's
Providence getting off the ball on the offensive line real well. 66 there was Kyle Ott. Did a nice job on that left side.
And you notice they keep running to that side, too. It's one of those things where he's able to start it off to that side, and if he sees some room to the other side, he'll cut it back. Whitlock, the quarterback. Turns around, Bodenbender, reverse, hands it to Barrett. Barrett looking for some room to the 5, 4, 3, down to the 2-yard line. Little bit of misdirection there, and then a little bit of an added twist as they hand it off in the reverse. That's a little bit of a dangerous play. When you're that close to the line of scrimmage, you got a lot of bodies flying in there. You've got to have a lot of confidence in your running backs and your skill position players.
But this is an offense now that I'm sure Clarksville hasn't seen in a long time, and I'm not sure that right now they're picking up the assignments that well.
Well, you're right, Larry. They're not playing real assignment football. You got to stick with your reads. It's going to be 3rd down and goal just inside the 2. Turn around, Whitlock hands it to the up man. No, that's going to be Barrett. They faked it to Frazier that time and then handed it to Barrett, and you'll see a lot of that. Counters and fakes and cross-bucks and just about everything under the sun. It's 4th down now, and if Clarksville's defense was ever going to come up big, this would be the time.
This is the 9th play of the drive, Al, and they've brought it down from the 35-yard line to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's taken them a while to come just 34 yards at this point, and here's the big play. I am obviously 4th down and goal out of this wing T setup. Whitlock, the quarterback. Turns around. He's going to opt it. Oh, and he gets hammered, and the ball is loose. It looks like it is going to be in the end zone. Is it recovered by Providence? It is, I believe. Let's see. Providence is signaling touchdown.
We do have a flag on the play.
We do have a flag down, and I believe, actually, that may be a fumble marker. Let's see. And it looks like Clarksville has the football, in which case it'll be a touchback. Let's read this flag, though. If it is, I believe this was a marker for a fumble. I thought it was.
Either that or illegally advancing the football.
That's a possibility as well. That is going to be the call, Gary. You're right.
Yeah, he kind of batted it forward towards the end zone.
I'll tell you what, great defensive play there by the Clarksville defense, coming up big after not really able to stop this Providence team. And they should have the ball at the 20-yard line, as that was recovered by them in the end zone. That wing T.
Explain that to me, though, Al. If he can't advance a fumble, then the
batted.
ball should go back to the...
Well, actually,
it's a penalty. It's what
it is a penalty, so that the ball will come back.
You have the option on it, just
And
like on a regular penalty.
Exactly right, Gary. They have the option on that, so they will obviously let's take that at the 20-yard line. Quarterback is Troutman. He'll turn around, hand the ball off to the second man through. He gets a little bit of running room. Look out, up to around the 32-yard line is the new running back. That is going to be number 41, Steve Wyatt, the fullback. Wyatt gets the first down on his first carry and gets a lot more breathing room for Clarksville's offense. 13 on the carry. Wyatt is back in there, still in there, I should say, at fullback. Tailback is James. Troutman is the quarterback. Hand it off James, looking for some room. Got it. 40, 42, 43, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's at the 30, 20, 25. There we are. And it's a 15. I got a little mixed up on my call, but he is down inside the 15-yard line is Mark James.
Kenneth Boone ran that down from the backside.
I'll tell you what, guys, I missed that handoff completely until he was about 15 yards downfield. Nice fake to Wyatt that time. James a little winded. He's going to come out of the ball game. Clarksville has it 1st and 10 now. You got Tito Mayfield in at tailback now. Wyatt remains the fullback. Troutman has to keep the ball. Looks like a botch play. Flag is down as he's going to lose about 2 yards. Looks like they were trying to option, and he got crossed up a little bit. And it's going to be against Providence. They may have moved just a little bit early there. Let's see.
I think that arm up in the air and down is a face mask.
I believe it was a face mask. Well, they are going to blow a golden opportunity here to push Clarksville back because they had him for at least a 2-yard loss. And now this is going to give Clarksville Generals great opportunity with 1st down and 5. Inside the 10. They'll be just inside the 9, almost to the 8. Mayfield remains the tailback. Troutman turns, hands it to Mayfield. He's got some room. He'll try to get to the 5. Gets loose from one man, and he'll get hammered down at about the 5. Looked like he got a little bit of room and got yanked down from behind and then caught from the front. And got knocked down right almost at the 5-yard line. And that's where Clarksville will have it 2nd and a yard now. James will come back into the game now, as will French at a wide receiver slot. Tito Mayfield checks out now. 3:10 to go in this first quarter here at Cardinal Stadium. It's game 1 of a doubleheader, the Southern Indiana Football Classic. Clarksville versus Providence. Handoff goes to James. He's going to get hit at the 5, dives to the 4, maybe the 3. Mark James, 5'10", 190-pound senior. He's been around. He knows how to run this offense. And he's a very patient running back. They're going to say his knee was down at the 4. So he'll get just a yard. But it's enough for a first down, as now it's 1st and goal for Clarksville. So they get a whole new set of downs with under 3 minutes to go here in the quarter. Gibson comes to the near side. It's French to the far side. James and Wyatt, the running backs. Turnaround, hand the ball off. James gets hammered at the line of scrimmage, and he is not going to gain anything by the looks of it. In fact, he may lose about a half a yard. Coming out of there from the bottom of the stack, Jonathan Graff, 5'10", 210-pound senior defensive tackle. Travis Young also in there on the stop. Second and goal for Clarksville. No score in this ball game. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Twin wides to the near side. Turnaround, handed to James. He'll get up inside the 3 to the 2, and that'll be all. Travis Young on the stop again that time. Third and goal now for Clarksville Generals.
Well, they probably won't, Al, but this would be a great time to play action fake to James up the middle. And so Troutman is a great runner.
Yes, he is.
This would definitely freeze the linebackers for Providence.
You bring up a good point. Now they got twin wideouts. Gendling will be one of them, and it'll be Gibson the other. Turn around, and they're going to option. Back to James. Loses the football, and he's going to fall on it at about the 5. So both teams having problems inside the 5-yard line.
Troutman got hit there just as he was ready to lateral it, and that threw that lateral right off. James, real good job of just getting on the ball.
Yeah, he did a real nice job there, and it looked like, and I might be mistaken on this, it looked like Tim Faree, number 62, came in from a linebacker slot and caused that fumble. And now we're going to have an attempted field goal. Pick up the number on this kicker if we can.
Nathan McGarvey.
Nathan McGarvey, that's right, number 65. This attempt, he'll spot this at the 12, so it'll be a 22-yard field goal. Ball is down, kick is up, and it looks good, and it is. Clarksville on the board with a 22-yard Nathan McGarvey field goal with 34 seconds to go in the first quarter of action. But, guys, I'll tell you, both teams really having their problems down inside the red zone, the deep red zone.
Defenses are doing an excellent job once they get down inside the red zone. Providence just really shooting the gaps and did an excellent job. And Clarksville at the other end finally stayed home, did their assignment, and coughed up the ball, got a loose ball.
Yeah, and you got to give, as you mentioned, with Providence shooting the gaps, they did a nice job forcing that play the last time down on third down there because, as you mentioned, the quarterback, Troutman, just really got hammered as he had to throw that football, or pitch that football, I should say, and really just disrupted the whole flow of things. Well, McGarvey will be getting ready to do the kicking for Clarksville.
So far, Al, this has been an atypical Clarksville-Providence game. It's Providence grinding the ball down the field, keeping the ball, and as far as possessions are concerned, Clarksville getting their yardage in big chunks.
As you can tell, we're at Cardinal Stadium with the sound of the Jets from Louisville International coming over, our keeping us company tonight. McGarvey will kick it away. Going to be Zip taking it at the 15. Zip at the 20. Turns, tries to angle it, gets it up to the 25. Going to be strung out now. He gets away from a man 30, 31-yard line as DJ Zip does a nice job making a pretty decent return out of not much there. He got about 16 on the return.
Matt France ran him out of bounds for Clarksville, number 86 there.
So not bad field position for Providence this time around. They will come back out of that wing tee and try to grind it out. Providence Pioneers have it 1st and 10. Call it to 32. Give him 17 yards on that sick return. We're just at 27 seconds to go in this first quarter of action here at Cardinal Stadium. Game 1 of doubleheader Southern Indiana Football Classic. Going to drop, throw, and they've got a man. It's Zip at about the 40-yard line, and he's going to be hammered and brought down close to a first down. DJ Zip, first pass of the night. We've seen Clarksville try. He'll get 8. Now let's make it 9 on the reception. And that should be the last play of the first quarter of action. Clock winds down to 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that'll be the end of the first quarter here at Cardinal Stadium. In game 1 of a doubleheader, the Southern Indiana High School Football Classic, the score, Clarksville 3, Providence nothing. You're watching the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the Telesport Network. Well, we're getting ready to start quarter number 2 of action here at Cardinal Stadium in game 1 of the Southern Indiana High School Football Classic. I'm Al Mayo, with me, Gary Woodland, Larry Staggers. Providence has it. It'll be second down and a yard on the 41-yard line. Turn around, hand the ball off. It's going to be actually the first man through. That's Frazier, and he's going to get hammered and knocked back. I don't think he's going to have a first down. Let's see. Actually, nope, they're going to hold on to that and say he is going to be well short. Third down and a yard to go.
Doug Bledsoe led the charge on that up the middle. Excellent tackle.
People want to know how far south the Southern Indiana Football Classic goes. So far south, we're in Cardinal Stadium in Kentucky. What's that tell you guys? Third down and a yard now for Providence. Coming out of this wing tee, now they're going to break this and set it up a little bit. Turn around, hand it off, counter. It's Barrett. Barrett up to the 40. Got the first down, 45. Struggles forward to the 50, inside of Clarksville territory to about the 48. Maybe the 47. Barrett's going to have it at about the 48, let's call it.
Mark James had the first hit on him, and he got through his arms, and then Matt French made the final tackle.
Now they marked him right about the 49, say his knee went down there, so he'll get it there. This first quarter statistics update brought to you by Byerly Ford, where you buy your Ford. Clarksville leads it 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. They ran the ball 10 times for 81 yards. Providence 9 for 29. We'll pick these up in a moment. First and 10, Providence turnaround, handed off to Bodenbender, and he will get it forward inside the 45 to about the 43. Finishing these statistics, it's going to be in the passing category. Clarksville 1 of 2 for 32 yards. Providence 1 out of 1 for 8 yards. Total offense, Clarksville's Generals 123. Providence just 37. 13 offensive plays for Clarksville to 10 for Providence. Each team 3 first downs on the first quarter. Providence has it now, second down at about 4. Turn around, hand it off. It's going to be the running back again, number 28. That is going to be Jeff Barrett. He'll have a first down inside the 35 to about the 34. So now Clarksville starting to eat it up in large chunks as they do it on the ground.
Providence linemen there are really opening some holes here in this drive now.
Really getting that forward progress and forward surge, aren't they, Gary? A little bit of a different look out of the wing tee, kind of a power set now. Turn around, hand it to Bodenbender. He's going to be at the 34 and get hammered right at the line of scrimmage. .31 on the stop for Clarksville. Steve Boone out of the linebacker slot. Fans, let me remind you, the most important way to keep your car running like new and save thousands of dollars in repairs to have timely oil changes, and the best way to do that is visit Quaker State Quick Lube in New Albany, on New Albany, Charlestown Pike, across from the Bat Factory. Providence has it now, handed off to Barrett. Barrett up to the 30, got a flag down. He's going to be at around the 28-yard line. Maybe another face masking call. Let's see who they talk to here. Oh, it's going to be a holding call against Providence. Pioneers really got it moving on offense and now are going to be their own worst enemy once again. As the ball was marked just inside the 28-yard line. This will bring this back, obviously.
The penalty flag is laying on the 29-yard line, so that'll take it back to the 39, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And that will make it about second down and 15.
And you're exactly right. They spotted at the 39, Gary, so call it second and 15. Tough situation, though, when you're a running team like Providence is. These third and longs or second and longs or any long play like this, a little tougher on you. Bodenbender, Barrett are the wide men. Bodenbender in motion. Turn around, hand it off. Fake the reverse. No, he handed it off to Barrett. I didn't think he did. Got it up to about the 35, and that'll be all. And Barrett was slammed to the turf. He is down.
Yeah, this is a little different for the high school kids. They played on grass all year, and they come in here at Cardinal Stadium and play on this artificial turf. It's a little different when you hit the ground.
And this is a very good artificial surface as they go, by the way, in college football. I mean, it's in high school football for sure. One of the better surfaces you'll see as far as give is concerned. But anytime you hit any turf, it's a little bit of a tough situation. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more of the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the Telesport Network. Well, the good news is Jeff Barrett comes off under his own power, just a little shaken up as he slammed hard into the turf. New running back is going to be, we'll try to pick up a number for you, 27. That's a number I do not have on my roster. He's going to drop the throw. Quarterback Whitlock looking to throw, finally gets it away. It's going to be caught zip at about the 15, out of bounds, as he did a nice job waiting for his quarterback to come clear, just followed him across the field. Whitlock did a great job getting across there and finding the open man. That is DJ Zip.
DJ did an excellent job there. He kept moving, too. He didn't just stand there. He came back a little bit towards his quarterback. Did an excellent job of getting open.
He was looking back and saw Whitlock doing the roll, and as he saw that, he just kept moving across the field, as you mentioned, Gary. And he did a nice job getting it to the sideline and then taking it out of bounds. First down and 10 at the 15 for Providence. Turnaround, handed off, first man through, that's Frazier, the fullback. He'll dive forward and power his way up to about the 21. And I was not able to pick up number 27 on the Clarksville or the Providence roster a minute ago. Want to give credit where it's due there. We'll try to get that number as we get a chance here. It'll be second down and 6. 8:34 to go here in this first half. Providence trails Clarksville 3-0, but the Pioneers are on the move. Zip wide to the near side. Whitlock turns around, hands it to Barrett. Back in the ballgame. Barrett up to the 10, inside the 10, down to about the 6. As Barrett does a nice job out of this wing T offense. One thing about this type of offensive setup is it gives your running backs a good running start, a little bit like the I formation does, but you're actually a little bit parallel to the line of scrimmage. And the drawback is you can't see what's going on necessarily as well as you can out of the I formation.
Exactly. You've got a lot of your own men right there in front of you, and pick the holes.
Well, and that can be a lot of smaller backs like this wing T because they can hide back there. You'll see that a lot, too. Turn around, Whitlock, hands it off. It's Barrett again, up inside the 5, to the 4, to the 3, and he's going to be dragged back to the 5. Let's see where they give him progress. Michael Wyatt in there on the stop. Also on the tackle, Butch Jeffries, 5'11", 250-pound junior defensive tackle. He'll give him to the 4-yard line. It'll be first and goal now, as that was enough for the first down, just inside the marker. And we have a timeout on the field. So with 7:44 to go in this first half of action, it's Clarksville leading Providence 3-0. You're watching the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the Telesport Network. Providence calls timeout as they have it first, and actually, I'm not sure, was it Providence who called timeout or Clarksville? I thought it was Clarksville, actually. Called timeout as Providence comes back on the field. It'll be first and goal while on the 4-yard line. We've got 7:44 to go in the first half. Providence driving, and they'll come to the line. Whitlock turns around, hands the ball off. It's going to be fumbled. And does Clarksville have it? I believe they do. They do. Clarksville comes out of there with the ball. Let's see who's at the bottom of that pile up there.
Number 41, Steve Wyatt.
Steve Wyatt, the linebacker, so they turn back Providence once again. Providence having big problems down in the red zone here, as they have had it down inside the 5-yard line with first and goal twice so far in this ball game, and not able to get not only a field goal, but any points on the board. Clarksville has to be heartened by this defense, and Larry Staggers brought up a good point. They've only given up 14 points in how many games so far this year?
Up to last week.
Up to last week.
Last week they gave up 28. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but their defense has been very good this year.
Well, they'll have it first and 10. Troutman, the quarterback. Turn around, hand it off. Tailback. That's going to be James, I believe. Struggle forward to about the 7-yard line. As Mark James will struggle forward. Looks like Tim Ferree, 62, the linebacker, comes out of the bottom of the pile up there. 61 also. Travis Young. Make sure you visit Mr. T's Record Shop at 655 South 15th Street, where you'll find everything from rap to gospel. Mr. T's has what you're looking for. 2nd and 8 for Clarksville. 7:09 to go. First half. Handed off James. A little bit of room. He'll get it up over the 10 to about the 12. As he is really racking up some yardage. Had the one big run, but keeps on putting up 4- and 5-yard runs, and he is really starting to take his toll a little bit on this Providence defense. That's a tough situation when you've got a running back that's as big as he is, who can run as well as he can. Again,
Al, Providence had the ball that last time for 11 plays in 4 minutes and 47 seconds and couldn't score, so that's a little disheartening for them.
that was a nice, long, time-consuming drive, which is what they like to do, but they haven't got a point out of it yet. Clarksville 3rd and about 3. Turnaround toss to James. He's going to get hammered behind the line of scrimmage at about the 10-yard line. Looked like Jeff Barrett in there on the stop along with Kyle Smith. Travis Young out of a linebacker slot also in there. And Clarksville will be forced to punt. This will be our first punt of the ball game with 6 minutes to go here in the second half.
Providence should come out of this with pretty good field position.
Yeah, they should, and let's see what happens as far as if they try to put some pressure on Troutman, who'll do the punting. Quick snap, and they're going to call this a little bit of a problem here, I believe, as far as the officials were not ready. Don't know that this will be a penalty, though. Let's see. I think they just snapped it before the officials were ready. No, I believe we're going to have a timeout call. Let's see here. It is going to be a timeout Providence. So Providence has called a timeout, and we will break as well. With 5:56 to go here in the first half, it's Clarksville 3, Providence nothing. You're watching the WYCS Prep Football Featured Game of the Week on the Telesport Network. After the Providence timeout, Clarksville will now kick this ball away. Troutman to do the punting. First punt of the night. You've got Bowden Bender and Barrett, the deep man, and not a very good punt. It's going to be taken by the up man. That is going to be the quarterback, Whitlock. Took it at the 45, backtracked to the 50, and he'll be brought down back inside Providence territory, just about the 49. So Whitlock thought that was Barrett at first, but it was Whitlock taking that ball, just marking just inside the 50 in Providence territory. Still not bad field position, but something you never want to do is give ground if you can avoid that. So Providence will have it, 1st and 10. And they have yet to get on the board. Clarksville has been close one time and came away with 3. Providence has had it inside the 5 twice and fumbled it away both times. And Providence, folks, has really just dominated this football game on the ground, obviously, but not able to come away with any points. Whitlock's quarterback. Barrett comes in motion. Turn around, hand it off. Fake it to Barrett now. Whitlock looking to throw, getting some pressure, gets it away. It's going to be knocked down as he was looking for his receiver, Andy Edwards. And the pass intended for Edwards, it was knocked away nicely by the defensive back. It looked like that was Steve Boone out there, actually the linebacker, number 31. So it looks like Providence trying to cross up Clarksville a little bit early on. This is going to be interesting here. I see a couple of new faces in here. Luke Andrews in there in a wideout slot now, number 6. Tight end will be Jason Higdon, 82. And now you got DJ Zip in the slot. Twin backs in the backfield now. Shotgun, actually, you're right. And Whitlock's going to run with the football down inside the 50 to the 44, 43. They get the 47-yard line. Cross us up a little bit. That's the first time we've seen that all night long. Not something we expected to see. Give him 3 on that. Another in Clarksville territory at about the 47-yard line. 5:10 to go on a turning clock here in the first half of play. Andrews stays in at a wideout slot. It's Zip again in the slot. And again, they're in the shotgun. Whitlock turns around. He'll hand it to Barrett. Looks like Barrett's going to have a little bit of running room. He'll get it up to about the 45, and that'll be all.
Mark James on that stop. Stood him straight up. Nice tackle by Mark James.
Barrett had a little bit of room, but James came up and filled that hole nicely and very quickly. And they will punt this ball away. DJ Zip will do the kicking for Providence. Deep will be Gibson and French for Clarksville. Good snap. little bit of time, got some pressure, but got it away. Low driving kick. It's going to be picked up by French at about the 15. He'll get forward to the 20 and get hammered at about the 21 and knocked back. Matt French picked it up at about the 15, and man, I'll tell you, with a low driving kick like that, you're hoping you got a little bit of more room to run, but not to be the case.
Providence got down real well on the coverage on that punt. Nice job.
Not a particularly good kick, but they came away in pretty decent shape at Providence because they were able to get down on coverage, as you mentioned, Gary. Clarksville will have it 1st and 10 now at the 21-yard line. 4:19 to go in the first half. Wyatt is again the fullback, and James is the tailback. Gibson and French to the near side. James gets the call. Going to get hit and knocked down almost immediately, maybe get 2 yards. He ran it right into the pile. That will give him progress now. He dove forward to about the 25, so they'll give him about 3. And it'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
That last series of play calling by Gene Sartini, Al, was the equivalent of the baseball's changeup.
That's right. That's something we expect to see out of Providence's team, for sure. Pitchback comes to James. He's looking for some running room. Tries to cut it up inside. Does so. Gets it up to about the 30. He's close to a first down, but he'll be short by about a yard. I like this Mark James kid because he's able to really pick his spots. He did a nice job trying to follow the block that time. There wasn't a lot of room there, but he got maximum out of what he had.
He's a converted split end. Last year was his first year at running back because he's been playing split end all his career. But Clarksville was short on running backs last year, so Coach Hawkins converted him over, and it was a good move.
Well, the results have paid off, that's for sure. 3rd and about a yard. And they'll go forward. Troutman will take it for the first down, and he'll just dive ahead. Not going to take the chance by not getting the first down with just 3:03 to go here in the first half. Clarksville wanting to go ahead and get this football in there for the first down. There you see it, 3:03 to go. Clarksville has it at their own 34, make it 33-yard line, as it's going to be halfway between them, so we'll go 33. A little bit of an equipment problem. One of the Providence players having a helmet problem, it looks like. So momentary stoppage there. Officials are letting them try to get this fixed.
I look for Clarksville to put a couple in the air here with 3:03 to go. Try to get the ball down there and get at least another field goal here before the half.
Could possibly be the case. Tim Faree having a problem with his helmet there, it looks like. Seems to be having it straightened out now. Clarksville has twin Ys to the near side. Wyatt is still the fullback. Turn around, hand it off James. Looking for some room. He's going to get hit and nailed at about the 35. Travis Young that time on the stop. Travis Young's done a nice job coming up from the linebacker slot a couple of times tonight. They'll give him just about a yard. Let's give him 2 there. He's going to have about 8 yards to go. A long 8, call it. And James will come out of the ball game now. And Mayfield comes in at tailback. Turn around, hand it off. Tito Mayfield gets it. He's going to be hit and dropped almost at the line of scrimmages. He's going to be stood up. Ball comes loose, but they're going to rule it down by contact. Mayfield coming in just to give James a breather because he's been in there virtually the entire ball game. Tito Mayfield, by the way, a 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore. So he's getting some valuable reps in there whenever he's able to get in there and take over for Mark James. He'll be in the ball game, stay in the ball game at tailback. Gibson and French are the wideouts to the near side. Troutman calling the signals, turns around, pitchback, comes to Mayfield, looking for a block, got one, 40, 43. Looks like he got ahead to about the 45 and may have a first down. They're going to rule his knee down, I think.
That is going to be very, very close.
They're going to rule his knee hit just around the 43, and they're going to probably have to measure this one, it looks like.
Yeah, it was a very, very close spot there.
1:24 to go, as you see it there in the first half. And the officials are going to call the chain gang across the field now. They'll have to come all the way across the Cardinal Stadium turf to measure this. It's 3-0 right now. Providence trails Clarksville. Providence has fumbled it twice inside the Clarksville 5.
Talking about Tito Mayfield, Al, he has backed up Mark James all year long, but let's get the measurement here.
They're going to be just short. Oh, they're going to be short? Yes, they are. A little bit short of a first down. Sorry, Larry, go ahead.
He has backed up Mark James all year, and, of course, hasn't got a lot of playing time, but James having the ankle injury last couple weeks, I think he only carried like 7 or 8 times last week, and Mayfield ended up getting about 130, 140 yards, so he's very capable when he comes in there.
Well, he certainly has shown the ability to come in here and spell Mark James when he's had some time to come out for a breather, and he certainly does bode well for the future of Clarksville's running situation, because anytime you get a sophomore with experience like these last couple of weeks that he's had, this has got to be nothing but good news for them. He stays in the game at tailback after getting the first down. No, it's going to be short, I'm sorry.
This is fourth down, too, Al.
Fourth down and a yard, they're going to go for this. Troutman may just keep this himself. Let's see. Long count, trying to draw Providence offside. Almost worked. Turn around, hand it off, fullback. That's Wyatt. It's going to be close. I don't know. Wyatt got turned sideways as he tried to get up for the first down, and it's going to be really close.
I think he's got it.
I think he has it, but it's not going to be by much.
You guys have better eyes than I got.
I've almost got it directly in front of Gary and I here. They're going to measure again. They don't want to take any chance.
I think it's short.
I think it is now. The way they gave him the mark, it looks like it is going to be short. And
that's a big play for Providence right there. They
huge.
Can stop him here.
Minute 9 to go here in the first half. This will be huge if they can stop him. And it'll do wonders for their confidence level, obviously. And they're going to come away with great field position if it's short. Now we got a player in the way. Let's see if we can watch it for you. I don't think he got this. Oh, this is just that close. They're going to check this with paper-thin regularity.
Somebody gets the slide.
Somebody's going to have to check with a credit card, it looks like here. Let's see. It's Clarksville. No, it's Providence football. It is Providence football. It was that close.
When was the last time you seen a measurement take that long?
You know what? I saw one at a Big Ten game last year. They actually took a piece of paper. And I don't think they could make a decision. I think they finally said, okay, it's a first down. But that's as close as I've seen that come in a long, long time. And that's the kind of thing that gives coaches heart failure, or little hair is what you do there. So Providence takes over. It'll be quarterback Whitlock, 23, running again out of this wing tee. Whitlock under center now, out of the shotgun. Turns around, hands it to Barrett. Barrett hands it off on the reverse. That's going to be the other running back coming forward with that, Scott Bodenbender, but a flag is down in behind that play.
They're going to talk to Clarksville on this, calling the Clarksville captain over probably a holding on that side.
Looks like that may be the call. Came in behind Bodenbender as he made the cut upfield. Either a holding or a bad block. Let's see here. It's going to be a holding. And it will take Providence back. They came away with this in great field position at a minute 9 to go now, a minute 4 to go in the half. And this will put them back in their own territory now. And they'll mark this just inside the 45 and about the 44. Or the 49, excuse me. On the wrong side of the hash mark there. Take it to 46. I'm on the wrong side of both of those hash marks.
Providence has been its own worst enemy tonight, Al. The 2 fumbles, and then they haven't had a lot of penalties, but the ones they've gotten have been in crucial situations.
And this again in a crucial situation. This brings it up as first down and 21 now. They'll set this broken version of the wing tee up. Take the reverse now. Hand it off. Oh, my goodness. There's a little razzle-dazzle. They turned around, handed it to Barrett. He handed back to Bodenbender, who pitched it out on the option to Whitlock. Figure that one out.
Great play by Steve Boone. He stayed with Whitlock all the way and got him for another 2 or 3 yard loss.
And again, we were talking about assignment football. His assignment is contained, and he did a great job there. Under 20 now to go in this first half of action. And Providence may be content just to run this one out and get away being down by 3 here. Not a lot of fireworks in this ball game, but it has been interesting so far. They'll try to get one more play off. 6 seconds to go now. 5, 4, and they'll get it away. Hand it off Barrett. Barrett tries to look for some room. Gets to a little bit of running room and will dive forward to about the 49, and that'll end the first half of action here at Cardinal Stadium. It's game 1 of a doubleheader, the Southern Indiana Football Classic. This is the WYCS Prep Football featured game of the week on the Telesport Network.
Here's Jeff Robb, San Francisco 49er quarterback, with a special message from Dean's Milk Company.
Growing up in Louisville, my mom always kept Dean's milk products in the refrigerator. Fresh milk, award-winning sour cream, cottage cheese, and Dean's dip. Now Dean's has a new product, guilt-free plus non-fat milk. It tastes great and is more full-bodied than regular skim milk. Do your body a favor and try Dean's Guilt-Free Plus non-fat milk.
It's fat-free with a rich and full-body taste. New Dean's Guilt-Free Plus. Ask for it by name.
Well, we're back at Cardinal Stadium, and it's the first annual Southern Indiana Youth Football Classic, as we've got Clarksville leading Providence by a 3-0 count. I'm Al Mayo here with the Telesport crew, and a familiar name to most people, one Telesport, a guy whose shoes I have tried to step into this year. My friend Gil Doherty is with us.
Yeah, Al, thank you very much, and you've done a great job so far, believe me.
Those are large shoes,
I
trust me.
tell you, this wind down here has got me to a point where I'm already starting to feel a little scratching in my throat, and we're only halfway through the first game.
I think you're going to be doing both of these games on WAVZ radio.
Yeah, we're going to be doing both the contests. That's New Albany and Floyd Central immediately following this one. But, well, I tell you, it's going to be a long night. But I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with the play here in the first game. A couple of mistakes by Providence in the first half. They could have been leading, could have very easily been leading.
They've been their own worst enemy. Got down inside the 5 a couple of times,
right.
and boom, they've lost the football in crucial situations, and penalties in crucial situations too.
Exactly. The Generals playing a good, steady ball game. I tell you who I'm impressed with from a standpoint of running for Providence is number 28, Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett's been real tough.
Barrett is, for a sophomore, probably follows his blockers as well as any runner I've seen in a long time.
And on the other side of the football, too, Mayfield hasn't been in the game as much because of James being in the ballgame, but he's been a really good substitute for James when he's been there.
Mayfield, of course, suffering hyperventilation last Friday against Mount Vernon. They held him out of practice all week, so he should be pretty well rested. But I know everybody appreciates the fact that you're over here covering this game tonight, this first game anyhow, Providence and Clarksville. And, of course, they'll be able to see it. Well, they'll be looking at it now.
Of course.
Actually, tomorrow morning when they're looking at it.
Well, now let's tell everybody why you're not where I am anymore.
Well, I'm over now doing the play-by-play on Wave 1450 radio, which we've been doing all year, and we're going to continue to do that there as the basketball season comes around. We'll be going deep into the playoffs. Starting next week, we're going to be covering the Providence game with Franklin County, which should be a good matchup over at Murphy Stadium. And hopefully the following week, if Jeff can pull out a win over Evansville North, Jeff will be at home, and they could be facing Castle once again, which would be another great rematch at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'd have those two games lined up for the next couple. Then from that point on, who knows?
Kind of who knows at that point. Well, we've been fortunate to, this is the second time we've coincided with you this year as far as broadcast, and you're a good luck charm. We've had close games each time out. So
that's what we'd like to do. We'd like to have these good and I tell you what, this New Albany Floyd Central game could be a close one also.
It looks like it probably could be, and you're going to be, of course, doing both games with the doubleheader, and man, you're a better man than I am, but don't get used to that now.
Thank you, Al.
Bill Doherty joining us here on the halftime report here on the WICS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week. It is halftime right now, and we'll go ahead and run the scoring for you real quick. There's not much to tell. It was a field goal for the Providence Pioneers with for the Clarksville Generals with just a little bit gone in the second quarter as they were able to get a hold of the 22-yard field goal. McGarvey hitting that from 22 yards out, having no problems doing that, and that is our score here at halftime, 3-0. The WICS Prep Football Feature halftime scoring report brought to you by the University of Louisville. You don't have to leave home to go to a great university. Brought to you by the University of Louisville. You don't have to leave home to go to a great university. Time now for your halftime stats update, brought to you by the University of Louisville as well. Again, you don't have to leave home to go to a great university. I'm taking a look at our halftime statistics for Clarksville. They lead it 3-0, obviously. But the statistics not quite as far apart as you might think. Clarksville has run the ball 20 times for 105 yards. Providence 23 times, just 80 yards. There's only been 5 passes thrown in the game. Providence 2 out of 3 for 33 yards. Clarksville 1 out of 2 for 32 yards. Total offense, it's Clarksville 137, Providence 113. 25 offensive plays for the Generals to 28 for the Pioneers. Although Providence has 7 first downs to 4 for Clarksville. On the individual side of things, Jeff Barrett has run 12 times for 58 yards for Providence, and Mark James 14 times for 80 yards for Clarksville. So they're fairly even all the way across the board. As we take a look at the statistics for you right there. So it's going to be an interesting second half. This halftime report was brought to you by the University of Louisville. You don't have to leave home to go to a great university. Stay tuned. The second half is coming up on the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the Telesport Network. We're at Cardinal Stadium for the second half of action between Clarksville and Providence here on the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week. I'm Al Mayo along with Gary Woodling and Larry Staggers. And fellas, we've seen not a whole lot of offense with Clarksville leading this game 3-0 as far as the scoring's concerned, but we've seen a lot of yards put up on the board and pretty much what we expected out of Providence, run the football and really push it up the gut, but not able to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, I agree. Providence controlled the game, but time of possession there was only about a minute and 13 seconds difference there in the half. Clarksville had the ball for about 11 minutes and 47 seconds, and Providence had it for 13:06. So it really makes it close.
Well, that's a little surprising, Gary, in one of these games because Clarksville, Providence generally dominates the time of possession, but as we talked off the air here, I think a lot of people, a whole lot of people probably thought this was going to be a high-scoring affair. But when you get two rival teams playing in a stadium like this where they're not used to, generally this is what you have, a defensive battle and some timid play out there.
A little bit, and two other factors enter into this. Obviously, first time either of these teams has been on an artificial turf all year, and that does enter into it, whether you believe that or not, especially if you're on a high school level. And the second thing is, this is the first cold weather game we've had all year long. And this is another thing. This is the first time we've had any kind of cool weather at all. When you get that combined with the fact that you're on AstroTurf, it makes for a little bit of an uncomfortable situation sometimes. And I think we've seen a little bit of that. We saw Barrett actually get slammed into the turf, and it looked like it resulted in a bit of an injury to him. He came back all right, but of course it did seem to be a bit of a slow getting up because of that.
One other thing, Al, real quick, is that the players are wearing tennis shoes tonight too, as compared to spikes. So the turf is a lot different. They could be slipping a little bit.
And you may be right about that. We'll certainly keep an eye on that. We're ready to go with the second half. Clarksville to kick it away. Nathan McGarvey doing the kicking. He approaches it, kicks it. Going to be a deep kick. Going to be taken by DJ Zip at about the 14-yard line to the 20. 25, looking for some room. Going to be dragged down. Nice open field tackle. That was Michael Wyatt, the linebacker. Nice open field one-on-one tackle. Wyatt, that is actually picture-perfect form. Got a hold of the man, wrapped him up, and brought him down. As Zip returned it up inside the 25 to about the 28-yard line. And that's where Providence will take it over. First and 10. Refresh your memory, their quarterback, number 23, that is Brad Whitlock. The running back, 28, Jeff Barrett, 20, Scott Bodenbender, and 22, Nate Frazier. Zip will be the wide out to the far side. Turn around, hand it off. Oh, he tried to hand it off, and the ball is loose. And they're going to rule it. Oh, how do you rule that down by contact? I got to believe that was a quick whistle.
I think he ruled it. His knee went down before he tried to, where he actually lost position. I don't know if he was trying to pitch it or what.
I don't know. Gary, you're our officiating expert here.
I could see from up here. That's the only guess that I have is that his knee went down.
Must have
it
been
looked like he got stepped on by one of his offensive linemen.
That ball came flying out of there in a hurry. It looked like I thought it came out of there as he was trying to turn around and pitch the ball, but they rule it down by contact. It'll be second down at about 13. They'll turn around. Barrett gets the call. He's got a little room to the 25, up to the 30, to 31, maybe the 32. Jeff Barrett doing a nice job. He's gotten the bulk of the work, and he is not very big, and he's a young ball player. 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. He'll get it to the 32 and get a lot of that yardage back. It'll be third and about 5. Make it a little bit longer. Let's call it third and a short 6. Whitlock comes back over from getting the play. From Gene Sartini, the Providence Pioneers head coach. Third and a short 6, call it long 5. Whitlock under center. He'll turn and keep the ball. No, he's going to hand it off to Frazier. Frazier surges forward, and he may have a first down. He will have a first down. It's Frazier getting a great surge as they run out of that wing T setup. And Gary, one thing, if you're running out of a wing T, you've got to have a quarterback who can handle the football and be a slick fake artist.
That's exactly right.
And that's what Whitlock is.
He did that, and he paid for it a little bit that time because
He did.
somebody tackled him pretty hard in the backfield.
Well, and that is, unfortunately, the price you pay. A lot of option quarterbacks have that same problem when you're getting ready to, you're going to get hit on every play when you're getting ready to handle the football. But Whitlock handles it very well, and he's big enough he can take a little punishment. 6'1", 160-pound senior. He's got Frazier behind him. Barrett and Bodenbender are the backs. Bodenbender in motion. They're going to turn around. They're going to try to option. Bodenbender has the pitch. He's going to try to cut it up. He's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage and get hammered. As a good read that time,
Steve Boone.
Steve Boone has been a man whose number we've called a number of times tonight on defense.
That was a great open field tackle.
Yes, it was. A 1-yard loss that time by Boone.
Providence had a man out on him, and he just fought him off and pushed him off and made the tackle, stood him straight up. Great play.
Another guy, Doug Bledsoe, helped string that out. He stepped up in the hole there and did a real nice job trying to get that strung out.
And if he doesn't make that play out, that could go for 20 to 30 yards.
Yeah, that's a big gain there. Whitlock under center. Bodenbender's in motion. Turn the ball, head off the ball. Now they'll fake the option, hand it off up inside to Barrett. He got a little bit of room, but another good open field tackle that time. On the tackle, Mark James. Real nice form tackling by Clarksville Generals so far on this drive.
Another big third down play for Providence here. They have third down at about 7.
Well, they've shown the propensity to throw it a little bit tonight. Let's see if they go with that again. They'll bring DJ Zip wide to the near side. Bodenbender will be the H-back to the near side. It'll be Barrett and Frazier in the backfield. Counterplay, Barrett coming to the near side. Got some room up to the 50. He's going to be close to a first down. He's going to be right at the marker, it looks like, and I think he may have this. Let's see. They're almost directly in front of our broadcast position. I think he's going to be short. Let's see. I thought at first blush he was going to have it, and it looks like now they're going to mark him just a little short.
You have to get your piece of paper out again.
That's about right. Had that in the first half, of course, and try to see how close we are. A reminder, fans, the most important way to keep your car running like new and save thousands of dollars in repairs to have timely oil changes. The best way to do that is visit Quaker State Quick Lube on New Albany Charlestown Pike across from the Bat Factory.
I'm really impressed, Al and Gary, at the way Whitlock handles the ball back there. He reminds me a lot of his brother.
And his brother is?
Sid Whitlock. And Sid, if you seem like you've been hearing Whitlocks for a long time in Providence, Sid Whitlock was a 3-year starter and graduated last year, and his brother Brad is stepping right into his shoes.
Well, he's got a big job right now. They've got it 4th down and less than 6 inches as they were short of the first down on the measurement, as we thought they might be. Just on the Providence side of the 50-yard line. Let's see what they do. He's going to try to nudge forward. He'll surge forward and get the first down. So Whitlock keeps it himself. Last time they tried to hand that to Frazier. I think they learned their lesson on that artificial turf. With not being sure of that footing. As Whitlock surges forward, he'll get about 2 yards and get the first down inside of Clarksville territory now. And Gary Woodley, you made a very good point as we went to break at halftime. With this wing T offense, and I think Larry actually helped make the point as well, you can drive this ball down the field, but you have to score touchdowns. You cannot. It's not, as Larry, as you mentioned, it's a comfort, not a comfort behind offense.
Exactly.
You've got to score because it's a real plotting offense. Turn around, hand it off, Barrett, near side. Nice cut up to the 45, up to the 40. Surges forward to about the 39. Barrett making a nice cut inside a block by number 51. That was Josh Payne making a great block in there. As he kicked out 2 men to the outside. And Barrett, the sophomore, making a nice read up inside.
Going back to what you said, Al, it's the offense is designed to eat up the clock. And if you don't score, you become your own worst enemy doing that.
Exactly right. And it's one of those things, too, if you don't have a defense that can get you the football back and get you enough time on the clock, it's not going to work very well either. Again, the wing T setup. Turn around, hand it off. Frazier, second man, make it first man through big yardage. He gets it up to around the 32-yard line. So give him about 10, make it 8 yards on the carry. Nate Frazier, 5'9", 190 pounds, just a junior. Wears number 22.
Al, just another helps you along with that. 9 plays, 5 minutes and 44 seconds, and 12 plays, 4:47.
There's a timeout on the field as Clarksville has decided they want a timeout. We'll hold it right here, however. And reminds you, make sure you visit Mr. T's Record Shop, 655 South 15th Street, where you'll find everything from rap to gospel. Mr. T's has what you're looking for, Larry.
Well, since we're going down family trees with the Whitlocks, let's go to the Clarksville side. As I mentioned before, Mark James is a converted split-in. His brother, Matt, graduated last year and set all the receiving records at Clarksville. And as a matter of fact, Gary, I'm not sure, but I think he's enrolled over at U of L, isn't he? Is he playing baseball over here? I thought that's what I heard. But he's a terrific athlete and was among the state leaders in the passing department for 2 years. So that's why I mentioned earlier that Mark was, everybody just sort of expected him to step in.
To be a pass catcher, right.
But now Mark has become the all-time touchdown record holder at Clarksville. So he's
certainly in the genes there, I would say.
Sure is.
Well, at this point in time, Clarksville leads at 3-0. Providence is on a drive, though. And Gary, as you mentioned, they've eaten up 5 minutes, 44 seconds so far of this second half. As we're only in the third quarter, this is the first possession of the third quarter, 7:24 to go, as they'll be back at the line of scrimmage now. Whitlock turns, hands it to Frazier again, up over the 30, up at the side of the 25, almost to the 25, call it the 26. Frazier getting the call on a couple of consecutive carries.
Last 2 plays now, Al. Clarksville has hit the first man on a quick hitter instead of doing all the faking, and they're getting a lot of good yardage.
Well, and this is the thing, you fall into a trap sometimes if you're a defense. You see so much misdirection out of a wing T that when you run those straight-ahead off-tackle plays, you over-pursue them. And that's what's happened. Hand the ball off now to Barrett. He gets hit in the backfield, gets away from the 2-man now, up to the 25, struggles forward to about the line of scrimmage, and that'll be all. He had to work hard to get there, though.
That was great team pursuit by Clarksville that time.
Now, that time on the pursuit was number 41, Steve Wyatt, forced that play at first.
Nathan McGarvey had him in the backfield almost. He was the first one back there.
Yeah, it looked like he also had Troutman coming up from the corner slot, too, for the safety slot. That's something very important. If you're running against or running a defense against a wing T, you've got to have your safeties and corners come up to support. Frazier gets the call. He'll get it up inside the 25 now. And he's going to be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards shy of the first down. They'll bring up another big fourth down and maybe a yard play, let's call it. Looked like we had 65 again, Nathan McGarvey in on the stop. McGarvey, by the way, 6'1", 195-pound senior, does the kicking as well for Clarksville. It's 4th and 1 yard now.
This is the 13th play of this drive, and then it started on the 28-yard line.
And this is the second 4th and 1 play they've had, too. 5:46 to go in the third quarter. Big play here for both teams. Whitlock turns, hands it. Frazier, he's going to serve. No, Whitlock keeps it. He takes it outside, inside the 20, down to the 18, to the 16. He'll have a first down. Great fake that time by Whitlock. He had us all fooled. And I'll tell you what, give the offensive line credit there because they did not block sweep. They did not block option. They blocked straight ahead off-tackle play, and Whitlock did it all on his own that time as he'll get the first down and keep the drive alive.
Well, it's kind of like the naked bootleg, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about as wide open as you can get if you're a quarterback carrying that ball to the outside. Zip comes wide to the near side. Turnaround, hand it off. Frazier gets the call up the middle, and he'll get stacked up. McGarvey again in there, along with Steve Boone. And he'll get just about 1 yard. You talk about eating up some time. You're 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Clarksville has not seen the football yet.
14 plays, 7 minutes.
Well, if you've ever seen a wing T offense, and I have several times, you know that they have easily put up 18-play drives. Hand the ball off. No, they're going to keep it. Whitlock. Options got hammered from behind. Great defensive play that time. Was that Steve Summers, I believe?
I think Michael Wine, I think.
Michael
24.
Wine, I'm sorry, 24, not 34.
24, yeah. Good pursuit from the backside there.
Great pursuit that time.
We have somebody down.
And I think that is Whitlock. Let's see.
Looks like 23.
It is Whitlock. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Whitlock, he got whacked pretty hard from behind. And then he got stood up from the front as he was making the turn. Whitlock is going to be 10-2 at about the 15-yard line, right where he was brought down.
Looks like a knee, Al. what they're working on, the other, the calf area.
Hate to speculate any time you have a player injured like this. But in this case, they can ill afford to lose Whitlock at this point because he is the integral part of this offense. If you do not have a quarterback who can handle the football in this offense, you are going to have big, big problems. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the backup is Philip Corso. Is that correct? Number 19. They're going to bring a couple of players in and try to help him off the field. He will not be back, it doesn't look like.
That's Carrero. Bill
Carrero, I'm sorry.
Bill Carrero. It's hard to read.
A little hard to read these rosters in here. Whitlock comes off, and he is going to have to be helped from the field.
That's not a good sign.
It is his right leg, it appears.
He got twisted in there, Al. And,
It came up underneath him, yeah.
And he hit very hard when he went down, so...
He was in no position to brace himself for a fall that time, and that's always trouble. And if you're on AstroTurf, it's one of the things I hate about AstroTurf, being a former player. I got hurt on AstroTurf. I know 100 different guys who got hurt on AstroTurf, and it's not that I'm against it, but it's not my favorite surface in the world. I'll tell you that right now. So Carrero will be in at quarterback. He's just a junior, 5'11", 152 pounds.
Big third down play, 9 yards to go.
See what they opt to do. He'll try to option. Gonna throw. Look out. He's got a man. That is DJ Zip. Caught it. No. Dropped the football as he went down.
Great throw.
DJ Zip, I thought, had a touchdown. It was DJ Zip making what I thought was a great catch at that point and not able to hold on to the football. What a great call.
How's that for confidence in your backup
That's
quarterback?
amazing. Gene Sartini just rolling the dice with Philip Carrero. And they're going to try a field goal, it appears. '16 will do the kicking. That's Drew Stark, 6'1", 155-pound junior. This will be about a 32-yard attempt as they'll spot it at the 22. Try to tie this ball game up. Snap, kick, it's up. I don't know. Let's see. I think it is going to be wide. It is. Wide to the left as Drew Stark just hooked it a little bit. So Clarksville will take over. And again, this offense of Providence eats up tons of time and lots of plays and not able to come up with points. Although this time they have a little bit of a mitigating circumstance with their quarterback being injured. Gary, you've got some stats there on how long that drive was.
They had it for 16 plays, and they had it for just under 8 minutes. 7 minutes and 52 seconds.
If I'm not mistaken, they began that drive on their own 25 as well, so that was just a long time holding the football. Troutman, the quarterback now for Clarksville. Wyatt James, running back. Actually, no, that is going to be, yes, it is James. I'm sorry, I thought it was going to be Mayfield a minute. James had to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he gets hammered down in there after maybe a yard, half a yard gain, let's call it. Kenneth Boone in there on the stop, outside linebacker, 5'11", 185-pound senior. First time we saw Boone's number on defense tonight.
This Clarksville offense ought to be rested because the last time they were on the field was about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, they haven't had much work at all because between halftime and then the first drive of the half. You're at 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the third quarter right now. Troutman turns, hands it off. James gets it off up inside as he's going to have it maybe 2 yards. On the other hand, you got a lot of guys like Mark James who play defense too, so they've been out on the field. It's not like they're not warmed up.
Clarksville has a number of players that go both ways, so you're right.
And your skill players too. Troutman is a safety, the quarterback, and James is a ball player on defense as well. He's a corner. Third down and about 7 to go. French and Gibson wide to the near side. It'll be Gibson in the slot. Excuse me, French in the slot, Gibson wide. Troutman drops, throws, look, got it. Oh, had Gibson at about the 35, and he can't hold on to it. Good coverage there for Providence. Looked like it was Rick Skis, the safety coming up, 5'9", 125-pound sophomore. Not very big at all. And also you had in there Barrett coming up from the safety slot. So Clarksville will have to kick this ball away. Troutman to do the punting. It'll be Barrett and DJ Zip deep for Providence. They should come away with good field position again. High snap, brings it down, gets the kick away. Much better kick this time. It'll be Barrett letting it fall. It'll roll out of bounds No, it's actually going to hold on and roll. Good Clarksville roll. 35 now, down to about the 34-yard line. Great roll. Looked like it was headed out of bounds.
I thought these fields are in the middle. They're supposed to roll to the outside. That one rolled back to the middle.
Supposed to be a crown on these AstroTurf fields, and looks like that one kind of levels out over there. You got to remember they play baseball on this field too, so you can't crown them too much.
That's right.
That is a wonderful kick. So Clarksville gets a break there, and Providence will start again. 2:26 to go in the third quarter. And the Pioneers will have it 1st and 10. Carrera will be the quarterback. As saw Whitlock go out with the injury. He'll turn around, hand it off Barrett. Little bit of room. Got caught from behind, though. As he tried to make the cut, he got it up to close to the 39. He was caught by number 24, Michael Wyatt, and 58, Doug Bledsoe made the stop. Bledsoe got to him first. Wyatt finished him off. 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. They'll give him 5 on that carry. Providence has it at their own 39, and they have got no score. It's 3-0 Clarksville. Carrero turns around, hands it off. It's going to be the second man through. That is going to be the other tailback, Bodenbender. Actually, you call them tailbacks, but they're actually halfbacks. You run out of this offense, it's a halfback situation. Bodenbender hasn't gotten a lot of work in the second half. It's been mostly Barrett and Frazier. Officials calling a timeout now as Clarksville having to change players with a minute 35 to go, as you see there. And now the clock begins to roll in this third quarter. A little more conventional setup now. Twin backs. Turn around, hand the ball off. It's going to be Barrett. He's going to get whacked behind the line of scrimmage. Stuart Gibson getting through there. Looked like it was also, let's try to pick up the other number here. Well, we got a Clarksville player down. The guy whose number I'm trying to pick up is the guy who's still down working on a shoe, it looks like. 65, that's Nathan McGarvey. That's why I was trying to pick up. And Providence will kick this ball away. Zip will kick it away. Low driving kick. Drops at about the 40-yard line. Looked like it almost hit a player there, and it's going to be down at about the 46 after a Clarksville roll. That ball came out of there with backspin on it and didn't get any better once it hit the ground. Not a very good kick that time as it bounced backward about 10 yards after it hit the turf. And it was dangerous because it looked like Clarksville didn't have any idea where that football was. Clarksville has relatively good field position. 37 seconds to go here in the third quarter. See if they try to put one up here and see what they do here toward the end of the quarter. Wyatt and James, the running back. Troutman, the quarterback. Pitches it to, actually it's Mayfield, the tailback. Tito Mayfield up to the 50, up to about the 45, close to a first down. The sophomore doing a nice job, but there's a flag down at about the 47-yard line back in Clarksville territory, and I think this one will come back. Tito Mayfield snuck in there at tailback. I thought it was James again. And this is going to be against Clarksville's Generals, I think. Holding call against Clarksville. Nullifies a nice run by Tito Mayfield. He's been impressive, guys. He's one of those guys that, one of those kids that you see him get in the football game and you can't believe he's a sophomore because he's had a lot of game action.
Well, in most teams he'd probably be playing now, but when you got a runner of the caliber of Mark James, you're going to have a hard time breaking the lineup.
I think he realizes that too, but he also knows James is not going to be there forever. Mayfield stays in at tailback now. 1st and 19. Whitlock turns, hands it off Mayfield. A little bit of a counterplay. He'll try to surge forward, gets hammered back after he gets to about the 37-yard line. Stopped by number 62, Tim Curry. Also Jason Higdon in there. And it looked like we also had Kenneth Boone in there, outside linebacker. And we've got the end of the third quarter of action. That is the end of the third quarter with a score Clarksville 3, Providence nothing. This is the WYCS Prep Football featured game of the week on the Telesport Network. We're back for the fourth quarter of action, and as you can see, they are working on the ankle, it looks like, of the quarterback for Providence, Whitlock. He came off, had to be helped from the field. But they are continuing to work on his ankle over there, taping him up, and he may be back, which is a bit of a surprise. He came off there very, very gingerly. 2nd and 17 for Clarksville in their own territory at the 39-yard line. Whitlock drops the throw. Troutman tries to get rid of it. Now he throws it, and I don't know. I thought he was flying out of bounds, but he got the ball away in time. He didn't really have a receiver over there, but got rid of it. That was Troutman in there, quarterback. Whitlock's the guy they're working on the Providence sideline over there. He's got his foot up on the helmet over there. I'm getting a good look at it from this angle, and they're continuing to work on him. And Larry Staggers and Gary Woodling, it would surprise me if he comes back, but I would think if he's at all able to, he probably wants to be back in here.
Looks like they're taping the ankle here.
There's another look now. He's putting the sock back on, so he may be coming back. We'll see. Clarksville has it now 3rd and 17. This is going to be a big play for the Providence defense.
Screen.
Troutman looks, got the screen. He's got Wyatt. Wyatt at 40, 45, trying to get forward to about the 48, and he's going to be brought down there well short of a first down. Steve Wyatt out there from the fullback slot. He just kind of drifted out in the flat. Screen was set up nicely, but Providence worked it very well.
Closed on that screen real fast. Good defensive back came in there. Good, nice job.
Well, they'll punt this ball away. It's Zip and Barrett deep for the Providence Pioneers. Troutman, also the punter, kicks this one, a bad kick. It'll bounce out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. That one just kind of came off the top and side of his foot, and he got whacked, or almost got whacked as he threw the ball. Let's see if Whitlock comes in at quarterback.
Both teams exchanged terrible punts, Al. Providence last punt was 16 yards, and Clarksville's this time went 19.
And here comes Whitlock back in at quarterback, the guy who I didn't think we'd see any more of tonight. He's a little gimpy, but he's coming back in. The good news is he can afford to be in there because he can hand the ball off in this type of an offense. Turn around, hand it off. It's going to be Barrett. Barrett, 30, 35, 40, up to the 42, close to a first down. As Barrett dives ahead, just kind of pitches the ball out of there. He'll have a first down. 11 minutes, 4 seconds to go in this ball game. Neither team has put a touchdown on the board. Clarksville leads at 3-0. Field goal coming in the early part of the second quarter. Whitlock is still in there at quarterback. We'll keep a real close eye on that right leg. Apparently injured an ankle, but came out and for just one series. He'll turn around, hand it again to Barrett. Barrett up to the 50, surges over into Clarksville territory to the 48-yard line. So Barrett, the sophomore, is really racking up the yardage tonight.
Looks like maybe the Providence offensive line is wearing down the defense of Clarksville right now. They're just opening some big holes for Barrett and doing a nice job.
Well, let's see if they continue to go to Barrett or they try the little off tackle to Frazier. They got the full house tee now. Turn around, Frazier going to get it first time up the middle. Look out, he's coming up close to the 40, inside the 40 to the 39. And they over-pursued it as we thought they might. Frazier gets it up very close. He'll have a first down, but he's now inside the 40-yard line, that is, of Clarksville. Quickly, let's get to the statistics. Third quarter stats update brought to you by Thomas Lighting, the first name in innovation. Clarksville still leads at 3-0. In the third quarter, they ran it 3 times for 5 yards. Providence, 18 times, 59 yards. They had 19 plays in the third quarter, or 20 plays in the third quarter to just 6 for Providence. 59 yards total offense, 5 for Providence. We'll check the rest of these in a moment. Providence turns around, hands the ball off to fumble the ball. Let's see. Down by contact. It was Frazier carrying the ball. Check it. Barrett, carrying the ball. Let's back up and get these stats and get them right. Providence carried it 18 times, 59 yards. Clarksville 3 for 5. 0 for 1 passing for both teams. Providence 59 yards total offense, 20 offensive plays to just 6 for Clarksville. And Providence had 3 first downs as well. Providence has the ball now. Turnaround, hand it off. It's going to be Barrett again. He is going to get hit and dropped. Check it. That was Bodenbender. And a flag is down.
Got a holding on that one.
That was 2nd and 3. He got up close to a first down, but was short. And it's going to be a holding call. We've got a Clarksville player down on the turf as well. Holding against Providence. See if we can't pick up who this injured ball player is. Talking to the Clarksville team. Injured ball player, 34. Oh, that's Steve Summers, defensive tackle. They can't afford to lose him. They're already getting manhandled up front right now by Providence. And they cannot afford to lose anybody on that defensive front. They'll bring this ball back to just inside make it outside the 40, to about the 41. And that'll make it 2nd down and about 11 yards to go. Summers is up. And he is hurting. Looks like it's going to be his left leg this time. He's going to have to be helped off. Summers, a name we haven't called a lot tonight. He is an integral part of that defense. 6 foot, 225-pound junior tackle. Also plays a little fullback for him, too.
Well, you brought up a good point, too, Gary, a few minutes ago about Clarksville's line wearing down a little bit. And as you mentioned before, many of those players do go both ways, so they've been out there the whole time.
Coming back with a tight wing T formation. Whitlock gonna throw. Got DJ Zip. Let's see if he can catch the football. Nice defensive play that time. Made by Matt French, the defensive back. French just out there playing center field, turned around and knocked that ball away.
Great play on that.
Zip came open for just a couple of instants.
The ball floated just a little bit, but it was on target. It was right there.
It was right there, but now the question you have to ask is was Whitlock having problems pushing off on that injured ankle, throwing the football a little quicker downfield? He'll turn around, hand it off Barrett. He's got some room. Look out. 35, 30. Down inside the 30 to about the 26, and he'll have a first down. 3rd and 12, and he gets a first down, does the sophomore Jeff Barrett.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yes, it was.
There was nobody behind them.
Mark James, I think, made the stop there. So it's 1st and 10. 9 minutes now to go in this ball game. Providence. Go ahead, Gary.
One thing we might watch, the wind is coming out of the right into the Providence's face here for field goals. It's blowing right down to the open end of the stadium, so field goals could be tough from this end.
Whitlock turning around, handing it off. That's Bodenbender. He'll dive across with 25 and 23. You know, Gary, as you said that, I looked up. Look at the flags on top of the stadium on the opposite side, though. I've got a couple blowing down toward the closed end. Now I got a couple blowing over here straight at us.
Yeah, and down here the American
down
flag.
Here the American flag's blowing to the the open end. It's typical stadium winds. And as you look down now, I'm looking down here in the closed end, and they're blowing out. So, as you can see, there's the shot of the flag blowing the opposite way. It's Barrett. Barrett inside the 20, dives inside the 15, wanting the first down marker. He'll be close. I think he has it. Barrett was diving hard for that first down marker, and he'll have a first down. First and 10. Providence, though, has got to be wondering, can we put it in this time? This will be the 3rd time now they've had it down inside the 15.
The 9th play again. Here we go.
8:04 to go in this game. Providence trails 3-0. They fumbled twice inside the 5 so far. Whitlock turns around, hands it to Barrett. Cuts up, does a nice job cutting it upfield. Gets it up to about the 13-yard line. Jeff Barrett, the sophomore, doing a nice job making the read that time and just cut it up inside where there was nobody there. And got something really out of nothing that time. He'll get 3. Now, they can get a first down easily without scoring. They only have to get to just inside the 5 to get a first down. Whitlock does make a difference when he's in there at quarterback, even with the gimpy ankle. Handed off to Frazier. He's going to go right up the middle. He'll have a first down as Frazier will get it. Oh, he's going to be close. Let's see if they mark it a little bit closer. I don't believe he will have the first down. Let's see. Third down and about 3 inches to go. Providence on the move, 3rd and 1, let's call it. Under 7 minutes to go in this game. And they've been here before, guys. They have got to be wondering. Deep down, you know this offense works, but you keep telling yourself, we haven't put it in there yet. Whitlock brings him to the line. 3rd down, less than a yard. Hand it off. It's going to be up the middle. The fullback, Frazier, has the first down as he just falls forward. And the line surge will get him the first down. This is game 1 of the doubleheader tonight, the Southern Indiana Football Classic. It's our WYCS Prep Football feature game of the week on the Telesport Network. I'm Al Bayo with Gary Woodling, Larry Staggers, and the entire Telesport production crew. Live at Cardinal Stadium, it's 1st and goal, Providence Pioneers.
The middle of that Clarksville defensive line there really stacked that up pretty good. He had a good rush going there, and they just stopped it.
Well, now here again is where you got to let your offensive style work for you. TJ Zip a little late bringing the play into the ball game. You run these misdirections all night out of this wing tee, and then when that offensive off-tackle play works, and now we're going to have it looks like a delay of game penalty.
It's a terrible penalty to get at this point.
Awful penalty to end up with here, and that, oh no, yes it is, exactly. It's like he was calling a holding penalty there for a minute. I was trying to wonder what he was doing. It is delay of game. That'll put it back still inside the 10, but it's going to be 9-yard line now. Still 1st and goal. That's probably the worst kind of 1st and goal you can end up with. You don't want to be any longer than 4 or 5 yards out when you do that.
Well, that Providence foot must be getting sore from the amount of times they shot it tonight.
Have to hope they've been alternating a little bit. 1st and goal, 6:09 to go in this ball game. Turn around, hand it off, Barrett. Barrett looking for some room. He's at the 5, spins into the 4, 3, touchdown! Jeff Barrett, the sophomore, cut it up, spun off a man, and into the end zone for the touchdown. So Providence, after coming so close a couple of times tonight, finally gets it in for 6 points. Drew Stark will be in to do the extra point kicking, and this is a very crucial point right here. Clarksville's already kicked the field goal, could tie it now with a field goal. With the extra point, they'll have to score a touchdown. And I know it's a little early, still with 6:04 to go in this game, but the way this game has gone, with nobody scoring tonight, it's really not that early at all. Still a little bit of a delay down here. Now we get set to go. Stark will try to kick this ball through the uprights for the 7th point. Snap. Little late getting up there. Kick is up. And it is good. So with 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go in this ball game, Providence finally puts 7 points on the board. They lead Clarksville by a score of 7-0. And I'll tell you, Larry Staggers, Gary Woodling, it was a long time coming before we saw 7 points tonight.
Well, you know, we've talked all night, Al, about how Providence has maybe floundered some chances in there, but on the other hand, Clarksville hasn't taken advantage of it, so they find themselves now down in the count here in the deep into the 4th quarter.
But you brought up Larry and Gary Bowes. You brought up an interesting point early on because this offense that Providence has is not suited to come from behind. However, the Clarksville offense is one that can strike quickly.
Well, as a credit,
relatively quickly.
Exactly. Yeah, Clarksville's in a much better position to come from behind at this point than Providence would be, but you've got to credit this Providence defense because the offense hasn't been able to put it on, but they've been able to hold themselves into the ball game until something good happens.
Now, Gary, let me ask you from a coaching standpoint here. If you're kicking this ball away, do you maybe do a little razzle-dazzle here, try to kick it short and pick this ball up and maybe go down and score again?
No, I think they were doing a good job of holding Clarksville. I think they're going to kick it long and let their defense do their work for them.
Starts to do the kicking. He approaches it, kicks it. He will kick it deep. And a nice kick this time as it's taken by, it looks like James, at about the 5-yard line. He gets away from one man. Look out to the 20-yard line, and he's going to be stacked up there. Excuse me, that was Wyatt. He'll get it to the 18. He looked like he was going to get away from one man and then turned around and got kind of caught from behind. Pretty decent return on a nice kick that time. Stark really kicked it long. He'll get right back to almost the 20-yard line, so not bad field position for Clarksville, though they would like to have had it a little bit deeper.
Look for them to try to get Mark James somewhere in the open field, whether they have to do it with a pass or a little flare pass or...
Now, Clarksville is going to have to call timeout. Clarksville having big problems out there. Troutman was coming over to the sideline saying, hey, I'm missing a player here. And that's exactly what happened. They were short a player there.
Michael Wyant was supposed to be in the game.
Looked that way, and he was not anywhere to be seen. And they had James in there. James was flanked at that time.
They like to do that to him. They don't like to run it too much during the game, Al. They like to save this play like that, but they do like to run a little flare screen or a little curl-in pattern to get him in the open field.
And by the way, we do have a second game here tonight, Larry.
That's true.
And that would be?
That would be New Albany and Floyd Central, another big rivalry. And although we won't be carrying that game, the folks here should be treated to an outstanding ball game.
Should be an outstanding game. And Gary Woodling, we have seen this team for Providence move up and down the field all night long. If you're a coach and you look up and there's only 7 points on the board and you've got 19-play, 18, 16-play drives, it's got to drive you crazy.
Well, I think this last drive really showed maybe that Clarksville was getting a little tired. It just, the holes were being opened, and Providence has been doing the job all night. They maybe should have had 3 touchdowns by now anyway.
Yeah, Clarksville should be thanking their lucky stars. They could be down 21-3 easily right now, but it's not the case. Troutman now has the players that he needs. He turns, oh, no, and it's going to be, it looks like, whistle. Oh, my. They handed the ball off up inside to the fullback. Illegal procedure is the call on Clarksville. Steve Wyatt got the handoff, and he was just whacked and thrown to the turf, even after the whistle blew. Clarksville looks like they may be a little bit rattled here. They look like they're trying to self-destruct here a little bit. Let's hope that's not the case. They played a pretty good ball game all night. Led up until just a minute ago.
They've only had the ball for 8 plays this whole time for just a little over 3 minutes. So it's they might be a little cold out there.
Or they might be a little anxious.
That's right.
I think anxious is probably a good adjective right now. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 15. Troutman, long count. Turn around, hand it off. That's James. James looking for some room. He got whacked pretty good as he got up to the 20, making the 18-yard line. Mark James getting forward for a couple of yards. Floyd Central and New Albany, by the way, are on the sidelines, and they are warming up. Some key footballs flying down there. It's just a couple of teams down there warming up for the second game of this twin bill. 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this game. James, you see him checking out of the game. He'll walk off the sidelines. He's got to be tired. He's been out there every play almost of this ball game on defense for sure, and most every play on offense. Tito Mayfield is the tailback now for Clarksville. Just a sophomore. Toss goes to Mayfield. 15. Looking for room. Got it to the 20. Cuts it upside to the 15 or 25, and 2 flags fly. He started at the 15, got to the 25, and 2 flags down around the 20-yard line as Mayfield looks like this one's going to be called back as well. Clarksville having big problems now.
I think there's a tackle over there on that side, but it was by the offense on the defense.
You're right. Well, it's kind of hard to believe that Clarksville has shown such poise all night long, and then when they give up 7 points, all of a sudden it goes out the window. I can't believe that's the case, but it looks to be.
I think when you've led the whole ball game and you got down into the last 6 minutes and all of a sudden you're behind now, I think there's an urgency there to panic a little bit. They've got plenty of time. If they just execute a little bit, they're going to be okay.
You know, Clarksville really hasn't been down in scoring territory since field goal.
You're
the whole
right.
game.
You're absolutely right. Their offense really has not gotten much of a chance to shine at all. And I'll tell you, for all the yardage that James has racked up, he only had the 1 big run so far. Larry Staggers, you mentioned to me early on, and as you did too, Gary, that they would key on him, and they did, and they've done a pretty nice job with the exception of the 1 long run. Blocking below the waist is declined. Holding is going to be accepted. 2 separate penalties.
I told you there was a tackle over there.
Well, you mentioned that Mark James has been held in check. He has just 5 yards rushing in the second half. Now, you would think Providence defense has done a great job, but actually you got to credit the Providence offense.
But he just hasn't been on the field.
He's only carried the ball 3 times in the second half.
After, I believe, was it 12 carries in the first half?
14.
14, yeah, first half. So, yeah, it's been a whole different story here in this second half. So now, Clarksville, 2nd and 20. Ball is going to be on their own 10-yard line. 4:56 to go on a turning clock in this game. Fake the handoff to James. Troutman looking to throw. Got somebody out there in center field. It's going to be way overthrown, though. And fans wanting interference, but French was nowhere near that football. He was making a cut. It looked like up to the middle of the field, and the ball was thrown to the outside. So really no chance at all to make that reception.
That was thrown a good 10, 15 yards over French, over the defensive man and French.
It actually was not anywhere near anybody at that point. It was in the general area, though.
I'm not sure you really need that kind of pass right now, Al. Not to second guess Clarksville, but I don't think you really need that kind of pass. You've got plenty of time to go up the middle for your 10 or 15-yard pass and try to get some first downs and get out of the hole there.
Well, they've got Steve Boone in here now in the game. The first time we've seen him on offense. He'll be a wide out to the near side. First time we've seen that tonight. James in a tailback. Wyatt still a fullback. They're going to throw the football. Looking. Got Boone underneath. He got some contact right as he got the football there, but no goes. The ball was thrown well behind him that time. Contact was more a defensive man trying to react up, and it was not going to be a situation where he was going to be able to make that catch. This is going to be a difficult situation for Troutman. He'll punt it from his own end zone. And Providence knows he hasn't kicked it well. They've got everybody up. Now they're going to call a timeout. Providence has decided they want a timeout. So the Pioneers call, I believe they have 2 timeouts remaining. They will have 2 timeouts left. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go in this ball game. Providence has called a timeout, and the Pioneers lead this game 7-0. 4th down and 20 yards to go. And Larry, you've been the last couple of weeks, you've talked about how nice the weather's been. Well, Woodland comes along, and suddenly we end up with football weather. What's this tell you?
Well, really, Al, the weather as far as to play football is not that bad.
Oh, this
tonight.
is perfect football
The temperature is really right where you would like to be as far as a football player. But from a fan standpoint, in which I guess we have to include ourselves,
I think we
this
have
has
to
been
include
the worst
ourselves.
night we've had.
And I'll tell you what, if this was the worst night, then I'll take them, at this
Take
point,
the rest
because
of the
we've
year.
had great weather all year long. But as I mentioned, though, the first little bite of cold weather, when you're a player, this does wear on you a little bit.
Exactly.
When you're not used to this and you've been playing in hot weather or warmer weather, it can certainly wear you down a little bit. So that may have been a factor tonight. It's hard to tell, particularly with the AstroTurf thrown in. So certainly something to think about. Troutman now is going to punt this ball away. He'll kick from his own end zone.
I think Providence was discussing whether they wanted to come after this or not, but I think they would just soon to have the ball and not chance a penalty here.
Well, they've got everybody up tight. They're not coming real hard, but they're just going to let him kick it away and let this ball die. Gets a pretty good kick away, actually. Hits it about the 38-yard line. And now it's going to bounce and drop at about the 42. So Providence will have it in great field position at the Clarksville 42.
I think that's what Gene Sartini was telling his players, though, that we don't want the penalty. We want the ball because with our offense, 4 minutes isn't very long.
They can eat this up in a one drive type of thing. They ate up about 8 minutes of the third quarter. We've seen this ball control offense, and now I see the quarterback coming back into the ball game, Whitlock, and he is limping a little bit more this time around. He looks a little more gimpy now. Whitlock hasn't played any defense here in the second half since he hurt his ankle. Barrett in motion, gets the handoff. A little bit of running room. He'll get it up to about the 25 to the 24. Did a nice job. He got hit and then dove forward. This youngster, 5'8", 150-pound sophomore, Jeff Barrett. Great runner. He's a hard-nosed kid, too. He runs hard out of this wing T offense. You take a lot of punishment as a running back out of this.
He has 104 yards rushing at this point in the second half alone.
And he had, I think, 58 in the first half.
Right.
So he's well over the 100-yard mark right now.
If the rest of this half goes the way the first half has, Clarksville will not see the ball again.
You're exactly right, Gary Woodling, and we'll see if that is the case. 2nd and 3. Bodenbender. No, it's going to be handed off up the middle to Frazier. Thought they were going to hand it back to Bodenbender, but it was not the case. Frazier ends up taking it out of the fullback slot. He'll maybe gain a half a yard. So 3rd down and 3. Providence really spreads this ball around. We talk about Barrett, but Frazier's had the ball a couple of times tonight and done some wonderful things with it. 5'9", 190 pounds. He is a true junior fullback. He is certainly a load to carry in there. And then Bodenbender hasn't carried it as much, but he's only a junior, so you've got a pretty good tandem coming back with Barrett and Bodenbender next year. Turnaround handoff, Barrett, wide, far side. Turns it upfield, going to dive forward as he tries to get to about the 20, or the 30, excuse me, and he'll have a first down. That's the important thing. First down is the thing that is going to be very important now for Providence. If they can get 4 more downs and eat up this clock, it's very important for them. Coming down to just about 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes and even. 3 minutes even now to go in this ball game. Providence leads Clarksville 7-3, and they are taking their sweet time in the huddle. They're going to let this time roll off as much as they can now. Turn around and hand the ball off. That is going to be Bodenbender up to about the 25, and he'll get forward to about the 24-yard line. Scott Bodenbender, again, hasn't carried it as much, but he's been pretty effective as well. Steve Wyatt on the stop, and you got a couple of Clarksville players who look like they are just dog-tired. Nathan McGarvey looks like he's been through the ringer out there right now.
Clarksville's going to have to start thinking about burning some of those timeouts because this.
Well, they've only got one left.
Just one left,
Yeah.
Larry. Yeah.
Clarksville has just one left. They had problems, remember, down on offense on that series.
That's right.
So they had to burn a couple of them there.
Well, you got to have something to burn then, don't you?
Exactly. Handoff, Barrett. Far side, tries to cut it upfield. Nice tackle by the quarterback. Fumble the football. Look out. It was the cornerback, Troutman, making the stop. He came up from the corner slot, and it looked like the ball popped out of there, and I believe, was it Summers? 24, excuse me. Michael Wyatt came out of there with a football. Troutman was the quarterback, came up out of his corner slot, or safety slot, made the hit. The ball popped out of there, and it looked like Wyatt caught it on the fly. So Clarksville has life again with under 2 minutes to go. Minute 59. Clarksville has the ball back, trailing 7-3. They've got the ball in their own 36, first and 10. James gets the call. He's up to about the 40. Look out, got some room. 45 down to the 47-yard line. 48 now as they mark it. Excuse me, that was Mayfield. I thought it was James, but it is Mayfield, the sophomore, in at tailback. Clarksville's going to go to the hurry-up offense. They got to do that with a minute 50 to go. Mayfield a little gimpy. He comes out of the game now. James is in at tailback. Turn around, hand the ball off. James, he gets hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces outside, 50, down to the 43, 42, 45-yard line, excuse me. James got hit at the line of scrimmage or bounced out off of his own man, bounced outside and got it up to about the 45. Minute 40 to go. Clarksville motioning, getting these ball players into the game.
It's out of bounds right now, so the clock will not start until that ball is snapped. So that's a good break for him there.
Yeah, it was. James did a nice job getting it to the sideline. That's what that senior leadership will do for you. Now this crowd comes to life in the shotgun. Throws. James, flare pass, 45, down to the 42. Got the first down to the 41. So the clock will stop on the first down. All of a sudden, off to the fumble. Clarksville comes to life. They have one timeout left. Let's see how Troutman runs this clock. James stays in at tailback. Steve Wyatt is the fullback. French to the far side. Gibson to the near side on the wideout. Troutman turns around, hands it off. James up off tackle. He'll get it up to about, surging it up to about the 36, and that'll be all. Can't do that too much. They're down to a minute 20 to go in this game now. Just a timeout to go. Clarksville hurrying to the line of scrimmage. Minute 13 now. And the officials are going to stop the clock. The officials say they're a little slow getting back. Let's see. The officials thought Providence apparently was too slow getting back to the line of scrimmage.
We had another helmet problem over here. I think it was on Tim Ferree.
And now the clock starts.
It buttoned up. Yeah, Tim Ferree.
Tim Ferree did have a problem. Now they'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. Troutman's going to drop, going to throw. Look, has James, flare pass, caught it, 40. Down to about the 38-yard line, and she'll be back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be it. I'll tell you what, he throws that ball so far out in front of James, it doesn't look as if he'll be able to get to that football, but twice he's been able to make the reception. That time he had to reach forward a little bit, and it really almost cost him there. And they have called their final timeout of this game. Ball at the 37-yard line.
Well, gentlemen, this is becoming a habit on YCS Game of the Week, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is. Telesport crew has really picked up a couple of barn burners here in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and we are glad for it because great football is what we try to strive for, and that's what we've had. A little bit less than exciting as far as the scoring aspect was concerned early on, but this is just about as good as you can get with high school football.
You know, Al, I'm from the old school, and I like the...
You like the defensive
I like the
football.
trench warfare, because that's where I played. And I
Now
appreciate
looking at
those
you, I
guys.
would never have known that, Larry.
I
Woodling
used
and
to
I...
be a big guy.
I played the end of the bench. I
He
was
was
the
at the end
water
of the
guy.
bench.
I brought the water out.
30 pounds ago, I used to catch footballs. I don't think I could do that now. Well, let's set it for you. 52 seconds to go in this ball game. Clarksville trails 7-3 after leading most of the game. They've got the ball. 3rd down and 5 on the Providence 37-yard line. They have no timeouts left. They'll go twin wides to the near side. Shotgun. Troutman looking. Throws. French. No! Can't make the catch. That was Gibson. Excuse me. He had French in the slot. Coming across the middle. French came underneath. Gibson went to the outside of him, and the ball was incomplete. 47 seconds to go. More importantly, it's 4th down right now.
A long 6 yards to go, too.
Very long 6 yards. And, of course, Clarksville has no timeouts. This clock's going to roll when the ball is snapped. And if they don't get the first down, Providence will just let it run out. Troutman dropping out of the shotgun. He's looking. He's going long. He's got James. Can't make the catch. Ball went through the hands of the defensive back, Matt Block. James went up and mistimed the leap and couldn't make the catch at the 10 with 40 seconds to go in the ball game, and Providence can now run this clock out. What a close call for Providence.
I think Matt Block might have got his hand on that a little bit.
He may have touched that ball. It looked like I thought James had mistimed the leap, but that would explain that. Because if he did not mistime the leap and if the ball was touched, that would certainly explain the little problem there. And James, just disconsolate, is walking slowly back to the defensive huddle.
I think you're right, Gary. I think I thought it was tipped, but at the very least, his vision was impaired.
I think at the very least, yeah, because he got up there very high in front of that ball. Now, I was not watching the ball. I was watching the players.
Timeout Providence.
Timeout Providence, and they have one left as well. They didn't really need to call it, but they want to get themselves straight on how they're going to kill this clock. So certainly you want to make sure you've got all your ducks in a row to do that. By the way, I want to give our buddy Gil Doherty another plug if we can. He's doing the play-by-play for us on WAVG Wave 1450 radio. They'll be in action again next week. They'll be doing game 2 of this doubleheader tonight. They'll do Franklin County at Providence next week. Sectional 22 in Providence will be starting playoff action next week. You can hear it on Wave 1450 radio with Gil Doherty.
Here comes the knee.
They'll be taking a knee there. They got a man playing center field in case the ball gets knocked out, and Whitlock will come out of there. You got to give him credit, too. Whitlock playing with that gimpy ankle.
Great game by him tonight.
He has done a marvelous job coming back in. Had to get it taped up on the sideline. Clock continues to roll now. Clarksville cannot stop it. They have no timeouts. 22 seconds now.
They're going to have to play one more play because the referee started before 25 seconds. There were more than 25 seconds left.
So this should pretty much wrap this up with 13 seconds now to go. We'll see the final play of this ball game under 10 now. Whitlock will take the snap, take a knee, pull back out of there, and that will be the ball game. Providence holds on after they come from behind, trailing most of this game, and they win it by a 7-3 score. Providence celebrates. Clarksville walked disconsolately off the field, and you cannot blame them. They had played a pretty good ball game tonight, just not able to get it done when it's counted in the trenches as the wing key offense just ate up far too much time for the Providence Pioneers. So the final score is 7-3 in Game 1 of this Southern Indiana Football Classic doubleheader. It's in the books. We'll have the postgame show coming up for you in just a few moments. This is the Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the WYCS Prep Football Feature Game of the Week on the Telesport Network.